Hi and welcome back. Galactic Storyteller here, going over how to decode the illusions of this world so that we can understand our reality as they are being presented to us. You know, if it's one thing that I cannot stand, it's being lied to. Doesn't matter what it's about. I'm a human lie detector and I'll catch ya, and it really bothers me when people lie to me, whether it is in regards to health, politics, spirituality. Doesn't matter. Just ask my kids. That was the one thing I asked from them, is that they always tell me the truth. So we're going to be busting through some myths today regarding the creative powers of our brain and how to harness genius. And we're going to be setting the record straight on how to do that. There is this erroneous belief that we only use 5 to 10% of our brain. How many of you believe that? There's a reason for it. There was a misunderstanding in a study that was done many, many years ago. And what it was is that it came out that 10% of our brain was made up of neurons. That's where that number actually came from. We actually use 100% of our brain, not all the time, obviously, because there are not 7 billion geniuses walking around on planet Earth. However, there is the potential for that, and we all have that within us. Now, these neurons that we have that make up about 10% of our brain, the other 90% is made up of connective tissue. Called glial cells. Now, these glial cells are connective tissue based, and they can be either passive or active in helping or aiding functionally the neurons. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm not a biologist. I am going to give you a resource of somebody that you can go into further scientific facts about this, but I'm just going to cover some basics with you. Now, with our brain power, we actually have different areas of our brain that govern different things, whether it's speaking, vision, creativity, all of that stuff. And when we get caught in patterns, those neurons, those neural pathways, they're very consistent, and they don't branch out and create new neural pathways stimulating different aspects of our brain. Okay, so it's very important that we not get stuck in those old patterns. When we listen to new music, travel to new areas, experience new things, we create these neural pathways in our brain that normally wasn't there, and those neurons, through the synaptic process, light up those areas, stimulating and accessing those different areas of the brain. So even our thoughts can be addictive. But we can create new thoughts, and by doing that, we create new neural pathways. So I'm going to refer you to microbiologist Dr. Bruce Lipton. He's amazing. I'm going to provide his information in the link below so that you can dig into his work. Definitely worth your time, especially if you want to be a genius. I get asked all the time, how do I enhance my intuitive powers? We all have them, but to varying degrees. And the reality is some are born with more gifts than others, and some aren't, but we all have the propensity for that, because we all have a spiritual nature, and it's our right to draw on that spiritual nature. Yes, if you're a clairvoyant, if you were born an empath, maybe you're clairaudient, or you have some of these meta gifts that you just came into planet Earth with, that's going to aid you tremendously. Also, your genetic coding, we know, makes a huge difference as to whether or not you have this innate ability to be telepathic, or maybe just feel somebody, see something, be clairvoyant, and being able to tell the future, things of that nature, or see what's coming. Maybe you have a propensity for astral projection, We all do this in the night as we sleep. We astrally travel. But some people are able to do that on command or at will. And this is just part of their spiritual gifts. Our spiritual center is in the pineal gland. And that can, through exposure to fluoride, create like a cement type of filament inside the pineal gland, so that muscle is not able to breathe and flex. It's very dangerous. I have some free information on the fluoride deception on my website, Galacticstoryteller.com. That's going to provide you some great resources for you to look into that and the detrimental effects that it does have on our pineal gland. Maybe there's a reason why they don't want us being fully creative and stepping into our full potential with brain power. So go check that out. You're going to want to clean out your pineal gland, because just like the muscles in your body, you need to flex them at the gym and exercise that. So too is it true for your spiritual muscle. The more we use that, the more we exercise that, the more we're going to enhance our spiritual self, and we're going to enhance our intuitive powers, which we all do have a birthright to. Now, let's talk about some myths with the right and the left hemisphere. The left hemisphere of the brain is naturally more dominant in logic, shapes, words, numbers, lines, analytics. This is the male energy, or the male side of our body, and we associate those with those types of traits as being a little more of the masculine features. So that would make the right hemisphere your more feminine aspect, okay? And here's the myth. We have said, or we have been taught over the years, that the right side controls creativity. That's not true. Yes, it does dominate in different types of mapping, shapes, colors, rhythm, daydreaming, intuition. This is when our right hemisphere of the brain kicks in. Okay, it's dominating these types of aspects. However, it takes a lot of creativity to be a wordsmith. Okay, so when you're engaging that left hemisphere and you're writing, or you're singing a song and using those words and those melodies, you're now flexing the right hemisphere with the left hemisphere. So now we have an explosion of creativity that happens as a result of left-right hemispheres being in balance. That's when you're going to get the most creativity, is when we have those neurons firing in balance between the right and the left hemisphere. So let's talk about some ways that we can create a more balanced brain, because if you're right dominant, then your left hemisphere is falling short. You can say that you have brain damage, or the other way around. Okay, if you're not living or functioning at the optimal potential for both hemispheres, then yes, we have some brain damage. To have both of those hemispheres working in harmony is what we want to create. In the middle of those hemispheres, we have that pineal gland. So when we are taking those neurons and those synaptic processes are firing, then that creates that stimulation inside that pineal gland, and it's really fired up. So let's take a moment. We're going to go through a quick exercise in order to create more stimulation between the right and the left hemisphere. We have energy centers in the palm of our hands. I'm going to have you put the right palm on your frontal lobe. The left palm we're going to place right back here on the occipital ridge. And I want you to just think for a moment about something that you want to manifest or create in your life. If it's a new job, think about that. If it is more money, maybe a new car, think about that. Maybe you want vibrant health. So let's focus on a nice, healthy body, just as an example. See yourself nice and fit, healthy, lean, trim. Maybe you're running through a meadow. Maybe you're playing on the beach. So once you're locked into your manifestation, see it as your reality, because this is where we're going to engage the emotional body. The emotional component is really important so you can feel healthy, feel sexy, feel vibrant, feel alive. And now you're going to speak this manifestation into creation. I am so healthy. My body is so sexy. It's youthful. It's firm, resilient, flexible, strong. Speak all the things that you feel into your reality as though it is your reality, because there is no time. So speak it and feel it as though it is happening right now, because it is. Your body is instantly working in motion to create this. And once you've spent a few minutes in this emotion and speaking your manifestation, you're going to open your eyes and you're going to move your eyes back and forth between the right and the left hemisphere 15 to 16 times. It's as easy as that. So if you'll spend a couple of minutes doing that, maybe in the morning before you get out of bed, or at night when you're calming things down and you're getting to rest for the evening, do that for the next 30 days and see what kind of changes happen in your life. There's a whole lot involved with expanding one's spiritual state, to heightening your intuition. Now, everybody has a gut feeling, okay? That's just how we're created. We've got that gut hit. You don't have to have a vegetarian diet in order to do that. Just ask some of the best gamblers in Vegas, okay? I promise you, they're not eating salads every day and not having their meat and potatoes. I'm not advocating that, but I'm not saying that you have to have a vegetarian diet in order to do that. The most important part is awareness. You've got to have that awareness in your brain. Once you do that, your brain power is automatically going to increase, because you're going to be paying attention to absorbing certain information, breaking out of set patterns that you have. Like I mentioned earlier, when we get into those set patterns, including our thoughts, the pattern of our old thoughts, we're not expanding our brain power. So you want to be challenging your beliefs, learning new information, experiencing new things, and creating a spiritual practice. It doesn't matter if it's meditation, if it's prayer. Create a spiritual discipline for yourself, because as you do that, the very act of putting your brainwave into a theta state, so you're taking your brainwave down to 4 to 7 hertz per cycle, this is when we're really going to heighten our perception. And we're going to create that connection that is unbreakable with the universe. We are the microcosm of the macrocosm. We're not separate. And the moment you realize that you have access to every bit of information that you need, it will start to happen, especially once you start to listen and to tune in to how that feels. The universe wants you to be in compliance with the natural law. It wants you to flow with the natural energies of choice and consequence. So as you become aware of these things, your intuition will continue to expand and grow, especially in unexpected ways. And that's the fun part. I hope this information was helpful for you. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with those you feel might benefit from it. Ding my little bell If you want notifications of when I put out new videos, that's usually every Friday, you're welcome to go to my website, Galacticstoryteller.com. I have all kinds of information on there. It's free for you, so take advantage of that. Especially today's featured blog, The Fluoride Deception. Give that a good read, take advantage of the resources that I have provided for you, and then you're welcome to make an appointment. My calendar is at the back of the website. I also take donations right there on the home page. This way I can continue putting out free information for you, whether it's $1, $100, $1,000. It's all equally appreciated, and it allows me to stay advertisement free. Again, your comments are appreciated. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you in the next video.